Welcome everybody, hope you're all having a good one today. Whatever time it is, wherever you're at in the world, hope you're having a good one. I certainly have today. I've made quite a few stages. Always nice to get ahead of myself as we get underway. But yeah, got ahead of myself in terms of the amount of stages I have versus the amount of YouTube videos, so that's good. Also gives me more time to make more assets and things for the stages rather than just making one stage and then doing the video. I can make a bunch of stages and then make some assets and still have leftover stages to do videos for, which is nice. But today we are in the AW Astro Group 4 spec today, so last two videos I've done have been Group B, I think last three actually. So this one's a little bit slower, less horsepower, 200 horsepower today, two-wheel drive, going to the front tires. Only front-wheel drive car for the entire pack. This car is at suggestion of the homie Hugo on Discord. He likes this car because he can make it look like a Yugo with the American spec headlights, which is always fun. We're running the Euro spec headlights, making it look like a Golf today, like what raced in real Group A in the 80s. Of course, this is Group 4, but the reason I did that is just because Group A is much more iconic for being the top class into the 90s, rather than the subclass to Group B. So just so people didn't get confused and they more understood, Group 4 is the secondary class for this rally. It also allows me to reasonably add older cars that did race in Group 4, or at least of era, like stuff like the Miramar and things like that are too old really to have been racing, at least under any manufacturer capacity, in the mid-80s. But if it's a Group 4 car, then it gives it a little bit more creative freedom. Stuff like the Bastion as well is really, not the Bastion, the Bastion's way too new, the Barstow. I always get those two confused. Just in name. Obviously, I know which car is which, but I just get the names swapped around. But yeah, the links for this car, as well as my Discord where Hugo suggested this car to me, will all be in the description below. Definitely go check out this mod if you haven't already. It's vanilla quality, so it's one of those cars where you add it to your game, and then 4 months later you're like, is that a vanilla car? Or like, you get confused. So certainly high quality. I've had this on my computer on and off, depending on what I'm modding or how much space I need for last however long it's been out. So highly recommend this car. This config will be included too with the mod. So if you want to try it, you can. I highly recommend it. This car is very, very nice to drive. Great car if you're newer to rallying or maybe less experienced. Super, super fun to drive. Especially on a stage like this. Nice and quick stage. Very, very chuckable car. Just a little bit of oversteer, but still front wheel drive. So if you're getting yourself into a hairy situation, you just plant your finger to the trigger, or foot to the floor, or finger to the arrow key, depending on how you're driving, and just power on out of it, which is really, really nice. Speaking of input devices too, I've seen people thinking I'm a keyboard player just because of how much I tap steer, but that's just a bad habit from years of Forza and GTA playing on Xbox when I was younger. So I'm not on keyboard. I'm on an Xbox controller, and the reason I mainly tap steer is because anything competitive racing I do have a wheel, but it's just kind of a little bit of a faff to set up, and I always do a bunch of modding and then I make these videos. And changing it over every time wouldn't be worth the effort. Plus, I don't have my mic dolly thing, whatever you want to call it, mic crane basically, set up on my rig just yet. I do plan on it in the future. So if you guys have any cool videos you'd like to see of me on my wheel, I might even do the final versions of these stages when they are all complete. So we slide into there is where we're going to go off, but it turns out just nailed it. This stage, by the way, this dirt road specifically, is one of the new ones for the backwards version. So the way up yesterday's stage, basically the forward version, didn't go down this road. This is one of the default game dirt roads. Very, very fun road. Pretty narrow, but I'm sure if you're an avid rally fan, you've driven down this road plenty of times. Good road to drive. Yeah, if you guys would like to see any wheel content, do let me know. I do plan on doing maybe a Nürburgring 24-hour video. Not 24 hours, but kind of like a approximation with AI cars and things in the future. So I think that'd be fun. But if you have any other Any other ideas, let me know. But this game is very good on a controller too. I think you can be just as competitive and have most of the fun that you can have on a wheel on controller. So if you don't have the space or the money or the time or whatever, controller is very good. If you only play on keyboard, I definitely recommend controller. It's an easier barrier to entry than wheel. As we get back onto one of the brand new dirt roads, this is usually an asphalt road, and this is part of the kind of middle dirt road superhighway, as I was talking about last time. This road's driven in quite a bit of stint 1 and stint 2. We're going to brake here for the jump. Don't want to demolish our oil pan. Not as bad as yesterday's Pessima for glass oil pan, but any car falling from 500 feet will do that. And then we're going to pass, that's where the stage went yesterday, to our right. So now we're back onto the direct reverse layout of yesterday's stage. With all these crests you got to brake for. Nice and smooth suspension in this car. It's very, very nice. Helps that it's light as well. Also means it only has 200 horsepower, but it's just less weight going through everything, you know, less forces going through the suspension and things, which is always good. So we run a little bit wide there, but thankfully this road's usually pretty forgiving. Just some small ditches. Certainly if you run into them at 500 miles an hour, you'll have a problem, but to use the handbrake there, we're going to get right towards the end of the stage here. A little bit of a shorter stage for this one. Not necessarily in distance, but more so in time, just because it's a lot of very fast, open, straight roads. And this road is always terrifying. Just kind of entices you to keep your foot flat for just a little bit longer. If you keep it flat for too long, you're definitely going to destroy your car. One last corner here, onto some pavement, and cross the line. Going to pop back out into cinematic cam, another look at the car. And once again, if you guys have any suggestions for tomorrow's stage car, do let me know. I might just run the Group B version of this car, because there is a Group A and a Group B version. But for now, that was stage 11, and I hope you guys join me tomorrow for stage number 12.